Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 2 of the Monday Q&A, so let's do it. First question. What to do when there has been zero progress made on certain lifts, i.e. bench, squat for example, and how much progression should you see and how often, i.e. increased X amount of pounds on squat/bench every month? Sorry, he said every few months or per month. Okay, the problem is increasing something like your bench press. It depends on how progressed you are. Novice lifters regularly, very regularly add 100 to 150 pounds of their bench press in the first year. More advanced lifters, when they don't go on drugs, if they can add 5 or 10 pounds to their bench press per year, it is considered successful. That's actually considered pretty good once you've been training a few years. So there's no clear-cut answer. It depends on where you're at. Now, as far as the increasing it, if you're a more novice lifter, you just need to add more weight to the bar. If it stagnates, you need to add more weight, or you need to do a micro reset, just reduce slightly, change reps or volume just slightly, and then go back and add more weight a week or two later. Something like the progression I have in my novice program. More advanced lifters need more advanced training protocols to add any weight, and you'll get to a point to where you will need an advanced training protocol specifically to add 5 or 10 pounds to your squat or bench that will be a year-long program as an advanced lifter. And if you're asking how to increase it, you'll have to follow a protocol designed to get you there at that point. So your question really isn't straightforward. The answer is, if you need to increase those things, you need to obviously probably eat more calories, get more rest, and you need to run a program that is appropriate for your experience level and where you are, because the answer is going to vary dramatically. I give you 10 different answers for 10 different people. If they're not increasing and you know you're eating enough, you know you're resting enough, and they're stagnating though, you're probably on a bad program, or you're not putting 100% effort into a good program. It's as simple as that. All right, next question. Alcohol within caloric limits. If you've hit your protein and fat macros, is alcohol fair game within caloric limits? To be perfectly honest, yeah. I mean, honestly, most of the carbs you're eating, other than those you're wanting for glycogen storage, you're consuming them purely as a fuel source to fuel yourself, fuel your energy, fuel your training, fuel your day-to-day activities. That's what we eat carbs for. Your body will burn carbs as a priority over your other foods unless your protein or fat get too high, then it'll start burning them. Your body will burn ethanol, which is what you're getting from the alcohol, as a dominant fuel source when it's available. It will burn it instead of blood sugar, so you'll burn it for your day-to-day activities and you'll reserve more carbs for fuel. It's a perfectly viable energy source. It's probably not the best, but it's viable. A lot of alcohols obviously have other carbs in them. I mean, beer is loaded, it's made out of grains and hops. Wines are made out of fruit, and they tend to have vitamins and minerals in them. They're not exactly empty calories or micronutrient deficient foods. Just the concern is that excessive intake of the alcohol isn't good for your overall health. It could dehydrate you. There are other issues there, but realistically, I mean, even for someone who's bulking, if you've got plenty of calories left and you want to knock out a couple of beers with your dinner, I can't really give you an honest reason why it would stop your gains or inhibit your gains. It really shouldn't, in theory. So while I'm not pro people being alcoholics or drinking excessively, alcohol in moderation or even in excess, if kept at a reasonable frequency. I mean, if you're getting shit-faced 2 or 3 times a week, it's a problem. But a person who goes out drinking heavy once every couple of weeks, if it fits within their calories, I really can't see it impacting your progress. It just isn't, unless it starts impacting your training because you miss a scheduled training day or something because you're hungover or dehydrated. But outside of that, at the end of the day, it's still just food and fuel sources, and it's a source of vitamins and minerals. So it is what it is. All right, next question. Continued strength gains while in a deficit equals muscle growth? Yeah, absolutely. You're recompositioning. If you are only seeing immediate short-term strength gain, let's say you change your program slightly, you go in a deficit and a couple of your lifts go up a bit, those may not be direct tissue hypertrophy related. They might be neural adaptation factors. They might be structural changes that occur that are non-hypertrophic structural changes in the muscle tissue, such as certain angles of the way the fibers meet. There's a lot of different things that can give you some strength with a very short lift. If you're seeing a continual, even very, very small strength increase on any of your major lifts or several of your major lifts when you're in a caloric deficit, you're probably recompositioning. So if you're able to do that, congratulations. You're being successful. You're doing what everybody wants to do, lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. It's a beautiful thing if you can pull it off. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 3.